Morning Shay and Josmara. I hope this video finds you well. This is an experimental video, just so you know. I'm going to test how this works, and if it works, then this is what we're going to be doing in the future until this corona thing dies down. Okay, this term is going to continue as normal, as it would have if you guys were in school, just so that you know that. Okay, so this assignment, by the way, is going to be split up into 4 consecutive snippets. AO1, 2 weeks. AO2, also 2 weeks. AO3 and AO4, the same. Okay, so let's discuss AO1, since this is the first one that you guys will have to get finished before you can do anything else. Okay, you guys have 3 topics that you can choose from: inside, outside, reflection, and opposites. Once you've selected a topic, and guys, please make sure that when you select a topic that it's something that you really like, because this entire thing will run over 6 weeks. It needs to be something that you're actually interested in, otherwise you're going to get extremely bored and the work is going to become monotonous, and you're not going to reap the benefits from the whole assessment and the exercise. Okay, so inside, outside. Every single one of these topics can be linked to an artist. Reflections can be linked to an artist, and opposites can be linked to an artist. If you look at the topic, for example, Salvador Dali works a lot with the idea of opposites as well as inside, outside. In fact, you can even link his work to reflections. If you think about a painting like Metamorphosis of Narcissus, every single one of these artists can be quite possibly linked to every single one of these topics. But the idea is for you guys to find an artist that relates most to the topic that you have selected. So say, for example, just for interest's sake, that you choose the topic reflections and you choose Salvador Dali to go along with it. Then you can look at works like Metamorphosis of Narcissus as an influential piece. But then you can't stick with that only. It has to be taken further. So how do you take this further? Okay? The most basic thing to do is to think of how this work relates to you. So therefore you need to personalize it. Okay, you need to personalize it. So let's say, for example, you know what the work is about and you've done your research and you realize that Narcissus is this character from Greek mythology who constantly looks at himself and he is obsessed with his own reflection. And then you realize that, okay, but what does this mean? If I associate it with this, does this mean that I am a narcissistic person? And no, I know both of you quite well, and I can definitely say that you are not. But maybe, let's say, for example, you feel that society has become narcissistic and it has metamorphosized into something, some creature, some being that you can't associate with anymore. Therefore, you have now personalized it, okay? Because you have linked it to something that you feel, that you can consider. And if you can make the personal even more personal by saying, okay, this is not just something that relates to me, but this is something that has become like a global thinking almost, that if you can almost find consensus in a type of a survey that says that, okay, but many people feel this way about this specific thing that I am now going to focus on, then you've got a winner. Then you've got a concept that you can actually run with. Okay, so let's take AO1 now and let's look at what needs to go on to AO1. AO1 is gather and record. Okay, that's the main function of it. That's what needs to be done on AO1. So what you'll need to do is you'll need to take as many pictures as you can. Okay? Pictures that you think relate to the topic of reflection. So you can now go and you can take photographs of yourselves while looking in the mirror. Or you can look at shiny surfaces and try and capture your reflection in it. Or try and capture someone else's reflection in it. You can even look at how the environment is distorted if you take a photograph of it, let's say on a shiny floor, like what Vermeer did, for example. Then you can take all of these photographs and you're going to print them out. We're not going to discuss layout just yet, for now. But layout is super important. But you're going to take these photographs and you're going to paste them onto your A01 to prove that you have gathered and recorded. Very important, guys. Internet images really don't count and they're not going to benefit you in the long run. What you need to do is take as many pictures yourself, create as many compositions yourself. It shows that you actually know how to research beyond just taking images from the internet. You can, of course, and definitely you should have 1 or 2 inspirational images from your artist. These are extremely important because how do you prove that you have an artist, an influential artist, if you have none of his or her work there? So that will need to go someplace at the top. On this, you need to do research, and the research should include things like the medium and the technique. Medium, technique, influence, the style, and so forth of the artist. Things that they use to make that piece unique to them. Remember, painters didn't just create a painting back in the day. They actually, because photography didn't exist for the better part then yet, these artists actually recorded their environment, their emotions, the things, the political, the socio-political, the socio-geo, whatever, in painting or in drawings. So it's super important that you pay homage almost to them by doing this correctly. If you don't, then how can you use these things and manipulate them so that they become your own? Okay, because that's actually why we have an influential artist in the first place. So, beyond all of this that you need on that A01 piece of paper, which by the way should be done on A2. If you have a 300 gram paper, that's perfect. Anything less, I wouldn't go lower than 80 gram. Because you need to actually paste things, write things, this paper starts to warp. What I'm working on here is a 280 gram paper, and it's quite nice. I can actually even try and paint on it. Watercolors won't work, but acrylics work perfectly on this gram. Okay, so make sure that you get something that's actually resistant to moisture when you're working on it. Really, really important. Okay, then something that seems less important but actually really vital is that when you write your topic should go in a corner someplace. Okay, your theme. This should not take up a lot of space. It should be very small. Okay, you don't want to spend an extraordinary amount of time beautifully writing out your theme and then you have no space left to actually show that you've gathered and recorded. So make sure that that is small, that it's concise, and that's to the point. Along with this, I would like you to write the word A01, like that, A01, okay. You do not need to write gather and record, that is sort of implied through just writing A01. And then furthermore, A01 consists of 25 marks, okay. I will share the mark scheme on Canvas so that you guys can look through it. Make sure that when you look through the mark scheme, that you try and aim for the highest mark, because if you can do that, then you're through. Your work will be well done, and everything as far as fixing and everything that needs to be done will be done. So that's about it for now. You guys are obviously allowed to use whatever medium, whatever style, whatever technique you'd like. You were exposed now to a couple of them. You did black and white, you did negative, you did opposites, you did complementary colors, you did pointillism, surrealism, expressionism. So you can select from all of those and you can really make an informed decision. Which one did you find most exciting? Which one did you like best? And which one, of course, will carry through to the topic best? So yes, that's me for now. I hope that this was good and it makes sense. And then, yeah, good luck.